Hi everyone, it's Amanda. It's the 17th of May 2018 and so funny, Metatron's got me sitting here, my ankle is wonky, he's got me sitting here on a cushion because he wants you to see what I'm wearing, the ankh, okay? And it's funny because I'm 5'10", so I don't need a cushion to sit on usually. But he told me to wear this top. This top ties into what we're going to be talking about today, which isn't the ankh necessarily, but the ankh is symbolising the key to eternal life. It's also a symbol of hope, and it's set against, on me, this black background, which is indicative of the void. And I feel like we're all going to be going through a bit of a void-like experience over the next days, weeks, month, not sure, linked into earth changes. Some of us will experience it directly, some of us and the rest of us will be supporting, but everybody will feel it in some shape or form. The point about the void is it's also the place of creation, okay? So I'm wearing this deliberately, and it's funny, before I get into the subject matter of this video, I want to just say, it's odd. Those of you that follow me know that I've done a whole series of videos on the ankh and also the cross, which probably was about 2 years ago now, and put the t-shirt on, and then I wanted to wear a little cross as well. Got a little tiny little cross here, but anyway, I couldn't find a chain for it, and I thought, no, you don't need to do that. But I have actually got it here on my desk as well, on my little altar, because it's this mix between the old and the new. Whatever is transpiring and is going to be birthed from whatever happens is about going from the old to the new. But of course we still have both energies within us. You know that my mother-in-law died earlier on this year, and we haven't actually started clearing out her home yet, but I was round there the other day, and Barbara was very much a Christian lady and went to church every week and was a real pillar of her church and a beautiful member of it. What a Christian really should be, you know, actually practice love and light rather than just saying it and turning up in church every week. But anyway, so this very Christian woman, and I noticed in her kitchen she had this hanging around on the wall, and it's brass, and it's actually quite heavily marked hieroglyphs. Never say that word. I don't know where she got it from. And it was obviously very important to her because she'd put it right next to a photograph. She'd put it right next to a photograph of all her family. So there's something about the ankh here, as well as everything else you may know about it, being a symbol for us to help us keep us safe. So I'm just bringing the energy of that in. This is going to be, I don't know how long this video is going to go on for. To be honest, if I'd worked out how to do YouTube live, I'd be doing a YouTube live, but I'm doing the next best thing, which is I've got my Facebook on. I've asked for some questions to come in, and they're coming in, so I'm going to look at a few of those, as well as what I've been told already this morning. It is coming up 8:30, but I was up since 6:30 this morning because these messages from Metatron are just getting louder and more insistent, and they're coming through with great love and caring for us all and trying to keep us safe, basically, through whatever is to transpire. So let me light my incense, and I'm just going to take you through, I think, in a chronological order, what's been going on this morning and what's been coming in as guidance for us. Let's put some spiritual protection around myself and you. Bringing in Archangel Metatron. Yes, I know you're here. I'm just acknowledging you. Thank you. Thank you for always being here as well for us. So the next load of downloads, I'm assuming that you've watched my video I put up on the 16th of May, because this one follows on from that. Within the video on the 16th of May, I took you through a very basic Merkaba activation, which is intended to be something that you can just do instantaneously if you ever need it, if you ever find yourself in a place of danger. Okay, so once you watch that video, what I've been told is it's almost like it's encoded within you, the instructions, and you don't need to remember A to Z of exactly how to do it. You all already know how to do this. As somebody pointed out on my feed, and I completely agree with, a lot of you have been walking around with activated Merkabas without even realising it. Because if you're in a fifth dimensional state and your heart is wide open, then it can happen spontaneously anyway. What I teach with Metatron is that, or what he's always said to me, is that we can bypass a lot of the more difficult, complex instructions in terms of how to activate Merkaba by asking him to help us. How many of us have problems with asking somebody to help them? Which is why I think a lot of people haven't been able to do it. You know, he's like saying, I'm here, but you have to stay in your heart space. The instructions for how to generally activate it on a day-to-day basis are different, but the one I posted yesterday was very much one for like an emergency type situation where you just need instant protection. And in that situation, he is saying he will help you to raise your vibration to a point whereby your Merkaba would activate, because it can't activate in a lower vibrational state of fear and anxiety. So it's as though he's able just to, even momentarily, get you out of that, whatever's going on around you, to activate it. So that was yesterday's video. So what happened after that was various things I was doing yesterday, but I felt very called to go to my crystals yesterday. And I was creating some new essences, crystal essences for new sprays. But I was like having a rummage over, you know, everything that I've got. And I came across two crystals, and I've talked about these before, which are broken, and I hadn't known what to do with them. They're related very much to what is going on now. And that was the broken pyramid, not broken, the top came off it. Do you remember my pyramid where the top has just come off the apex? And also my dragon lost its tail, okay? Fire agate, which is what the pyramid is obviously linked into the energy of fire. It's also linked into the solar plexus. The dragon is about fire. We've got volcanoes, we've got lava erupting all over Hawaii at the moment. And I got these two crystals out and I thought, I'm not sure what to do with you. Everything that's going on in the world at the moment, should I have them out, should I not? I wasn't sure, and because they're broken, and I'm a complete perfectionist, I have to be honest, bit OCD with some things. It's like, because they're not perfect, no, I'm going to put them back in the box. And they're like, you are not putting us back in the box. It's like, okay, I'm going to put you out. I'm not sure what I'm doing with you, but I'm putting you out. Because it's like, well, we already are out. You know, this energy of fire is now already out in the world. And you have to acknowledge us. So I'm just going to put that there right in front of me. So we've got the dragon and we've got the pyramid, both of which were damaged, but was about releasing fire energy. I then was drawn to another stone, which I actually had forgot that I had. And this is Gaius Stone, okay? It's a Gaius Stone, beautiful clear green Gaius Stone. And I looked up what it is, and it's actually made from the volcanic ash from the eruption of St. Helens, okay? St. Helens. So this feels as though it's got a role in helping us to balance and to calm ourselves, and also to expand into just expand into a space where we feel okay and safe, even when around us things are happening. Also, it's symbolic of, if you think about St. Helens and you think what happened there, and you think about ash and the damage that ash can cause, what can be created over time is actually something that is transformed into something as beautiful as that. I know it's been manipulated a little bit. I think man comes in and does something with it, maybe to give it that colour, I don't know. But anyway, Gaius Stone I'm being very drawn to for helping us at this time. So if you've got any Gaius Stone, or can get your hands on any Gaius Stone, I recommend that. I think I might actually be walking around with it on me, okay? So I might actually keep this one in my pocket. The other crystal, again, I'd almost forgot I had it. Eye of the Storm. This is a Merkaba. This is an Eye of the Storm Merkaba. Sometimes it's called Judy's Jasper, named after Judy Hall, who's a great crystal teacher, probably one of the best crystal teachers, because I'm also a great fan of Philip. Sorry, Philip, I forget your name. Primit, something like that. Anyway, Judy's Jasper or Eye of the Storm. And I'm going to look up actually the meaning of Eye of the Storm. I suppose it's pretty self-explanatory what it is. I had printed this out yesterday and now I've lost it, so I'm just going to get this up. But in many ways, that's what we're being asked to do. We're being asked to be the still eye of the storm. Eye of the Storm crystal. By the way, whilst I'm just looking for this, in time, I definitely want to be doing, as I say, YouTube lives. I'm going to work out how to do that soon, but I'm looking for moderators, because what I don't want to do is go live and then just have a lot of people asking questions and abuse, because unfortunately you get that as well. Oh, come on. And also it will just help me to somebody could be doing this for me, you see, at the time that I'm doing this. Eye of the Storm. The Eye of the Storm creates a calm, strong central core nothing can shake. It facilitates seeing the bigger picture. It enables fully informed decisions and recognition of potential opening up. It sustains you during serious illness. It's a stress reliever. This is what's important. It switches off flight or fight response. A stone of dynamic stillness. There's more. Okay, maybe I'll put this up on my Facebook page so you can have a look at it. The name Eye of the Storm was suggested because holding it is like being in the eye of a storm. Everything is turbulent, swirling around you, and yet you are in a calm, objective place beyond fear or panic. In this space, solutions become apparent, and you can be drawn up the funnel of the eye to take a higher overall perspective, but do not lose your connection with Earth. Okay, I mean, how perfect is that? So, Eye of the Storm crystal and Gaius Stone, both of which seem very helpful to us in the days ahead. So those are my crystal recommendations, guys, okay? I also want to say that those of you that have got my sprays, the Eye of the Storm crystal is within the essence of it is within the bronze Archangel Sandalphon spray, and it's also within the crimson base chakra spray that I sell. So it has the vibration of this crystal within those two sprays. Gaius Stone, the essence of Gaius Stone as a crystal essence is contained within my emerald spray. Okay, so I will just say that to you. And I only know that because I was going through all my files yesterday. All right. What can colour teach us during this time? Colour can teach us a lot, okay? Before I did any of this work with Metatron, before I started to channel, I was a colour therapist. I still am a colour therapist. And I had noticed this week that two colours were really, I've got all these colours on my shelf, okay? And I look at them all the time, but when colours grab your attention and won't let you go, you have to take notice of it. Because from a colour therapist perspective, if you understand what the colours mean, you understand what the message is that they're trying to give you. So, I will just say at this point as well, sorry to deviate, but it's quite important. I am coming to Canada in September and I'm running a colour workshop, okay? So if you're interested in this, sign up, because I don't do them that often. All right, sales pitch over. These were the two colours that were calling me, okay? Bright orange and violet. Can you just feel the energy of these two colours together? Bright orange and violet. So this one is a Colour Mirrors oil and it's linked into the planet Saturn, okay? Now, Saturn is the teacher energy. It's the teacher. And sometimes the teacher can come in ways where they're where the most stubborn lessons need to be learnt, is what I'm hearing, okay? But it's with orange. It's less about the bottles, it's more about the combination of colours. So I go back to my colour mirrors files and I look up the meaning of violet and orange together, okay? And this is what it says. Violet and orange together talk about a near-death experience, shock and grief. But that shock and that grief and that near-death experience can lead you to bliss and enlightenment. Okay, so that's one aspect. It's also to do with abuse by a spiritual teacher. Now, this isn't me abusing you in this lifetime. This is about any of us, any of you that are watching this, probably myself included as well, who have had a past life in maybe one of the ancient civilizations, Atlantis, Egypt, Lemuria. I'm sure there are plenty others, doesn't matter. And it doesn't, in fact, Metatron said it doesn't have to be one of the ancient civilizations. It could be a time where, you know, Middle Ages, maybe you were a witch or something like that, white witch. But you abused your power, okay? It's very common, it's a very common thing to have within you that needs to be cleared. So that's coming up for clearing as well. But equally, the combination of orange and violet is also suggesting that something is to happen which is like a near-death experience. He's saying it feels like death, but of course it's actually rebirth. He's being a bit cryptic, but I can only tell you what I trust and what is coming through. I'm not going to elaborate when I can't elaborate. It also is to do, oh wow, I hadn't read this bit. It's to do with a connection with a Native American lifetime where the tribe was wiped out. It also relates to an abuse by a spiritual teacher and the Catholic Inquisitions. And why I'm mentioning this is because whatever is coming up to be healed with the energy of fire for us as a world is a huge cleanse by Gaia. She's cleansing herself of all the, excuse the word, crap that is within her, that she's been holding, all of our pain, all of our past abuses, everything that she's witnessed upon this planet is coming up. She just can't stand it anymore. I'm feeling it. It's just like, I want to throw it off. And it's coming up via fire because fire transmutes. Fire transmutes. But know also that three things here. A lifetime as a leader or teacher with in one of the ancient systems of our world where we may have abused our power is coming up for clearance. I'm hearing that some won't accept that clearance, and that is because the times that are coming are going to sort the wheat out from the chaff in terms of people who are putting themselves out there as spiritual teachers, spiritual leaders. Some people are not walking their talk, basically. And those that are not walking their talk or who are abusing their gift as they did in a past life, it's not going to be allowed. It's basically not going to be allowed. So it's a process of, for us as teachers and therapists, there is an opportunity here to clear some very deep, you know, DNA stuff that we probably don't even know we're carrying anymore. Doesn't mean we're operating in that way anymore in this lifetime, but it does mean that we did in a previous life, and that needs to be got out now by the root. You know, I'm feeling it being tugged out quite viciously because no part of that can remain. We have to be 100% pure in terms of the light that we carry, because the vibration that we are going to be teaching it cannot be tainted by anything else from the past. Also, those of you that have had a Catholic past life, maybe you were either an inquisitor or you were one of the people that persecuted, or you were one that was persecuted. That's also coming up to be healed with these world events. And then this Native American lifetime where the tribe was wiped out. Now, some of you on my YouTube channel have given me some impression of what I was seeing in my last video. Do you remember I was seeing the stone with the faces of the presidents? And I thought it was really odd because I knew it wasn't that old. And I think it's about 100 years old. It's at Mount Rushmore, you tell me. And I thought, okay, well, yeah, but 100 years old isn't really that old in terms of the lifetime of this planet. Why the hell am I seeing that? But then somebody else basically has said, and this feels right to me, that land is on land, I suppose all of America, but that land belonged to a particular tribe, okay, a particular native tribe. And remember, I showed you my Petoskey stone, which is still here, okay, which linked to that as well. So all of that is just part and parcel of what is coming up for healing. To try to make you understand why it's happening, okay? Right, now let us move on. I'm going to move this away, that energy away. I've pulled some cards, but before I come to the cards, I want to say a little bit more about other stuff that's been coming to me and also your own comments. A lot of you, when I pulled the island card yesterday, were mentioning something that I didn't actually think at the time, but I think you're completely right. The island is Hawaii as well. Okay, this is Hawaii. And we had it next to the card of wind activation in particular. I don't think there's tornadoes or anything going off on Hawaii, but anyway, I don't know about that. But anyway, the island feels as though it's Hawaii. So I'm going to pull some cards for Hawaii during this session because it feels as though whatever comes in, Hawaii is a trigger point, okay? And the more days that pass and the more that Hawaii and what's happening there with the energy of fire is not calming down, it doesn't seem to be calming down, the more I'm getting a bit concerned, okay? So we're going to give some guidance there for people. I've written down a few words here. I've written down, this isn't a drill, okay? This is actually where we as light workers start to do what we actually signed up to do in this lifetime, okay? And we can all do that. All of our training, all of our reading, all of the workshops we've been on, you know, all of the wisdom that we've acquired over many lifetimes is meant to help us with the times that are coming. Now, whether those times happen within the next couple of days or the next couple of years, I don't know. And I can't give you a time scale for this. I'm sorry, if I got one, I would tell you, but it's being deliberately shrouded. If you want my gut feel, it feels sooner rather than later. Definitely sooner rather than later, because Metatron's saying this isn't a drill. He's asking you to take practical steps. Now let me explain about this. I was saying something to somebody in a session yesterday on a different subject, which is that those of us that have been on the spiritual path a while know that, you know, affirmations are very important, prayers are very important, visualization, meditation, all of that, crucial, absolutely crucial, and needs to continue. But there is this thing about actions speak louder than words. So you can say all your prayers to a higher power, to Metatron, to, you know, keep me safe, all the rest of it, hold the light. Please continue to do that, very important. But he's also saying actions speak louder than words. So if you are wanting to keep yourself safe, you need to take some proactive steps to show the universe that you actually mean business. That does not mean going into some fear-based hoarding mode where you dig yourself in. That just is completely the wrong thing to do, okay? Because that's taking you right down into a base chakra response, which is all about fear and survival. What Metatron is asking you to do is make a symbolic gesture so that the universe can just see that you are also helping yourself. You are not just expecting the divine to come in and scoop you up and keep you safe, because you too are a divine being of light. So you too, as part of the divine, can also do your bit. It's a 50-50. The divine helps you when you need the help, but you also help yourself. These are symbolic acts, and they are as simple as this. And this is where we get down to the nitty-gritty practicality that you can do. It's things like making sure that if you have a car, you have a full tank of fuel in it, okay? That it's not running on empty. If it was me and I was living in an area where I was under fault lines, or any of these areas that are being highlighted on the map at the moment, we'll come to that, I would have a bag packed. And I don't mean by that I'd have my whole house packed. That's completely and utterly impractical. If you've got children and they're going to school and you've got a job to do, life carries on, but you take some precautionary steps. Many of you will already have done this, I'm hearing, but it's having a bag packed. It's having a plan B, basically. It's also about knowing where people are on a particular day. So it's not a time for you to go AWOL, okay? It's not a time for you just to think, oh, you know, I'm going to do my Dick Whittington moment and traipse off to London and not tell anybody where I'm going. You know, that's not helpful during these times that we're in. Equally, you don't need to be so rigid that it's like if you're not back at 8:30, everyone goes into panic. It's just about common sense. It's about practicalities which you can do. It is about having some extra food in, it's having some extra water in. It's about making sure that people you love in your life, elderly people, people who are infirm, also have that, okay? So if it was me and I was in one of the areas, if I was in somewhere like Hawaii, I'd be making sure my mum's fridge was topped up. I'd be making sure she had a bag packed. And I would not be, I'd maybe even do it for her. You know, if you've got somebody like my mum would go into massive panic and fear, so I wouldn't want to do that to her, but I would do it for her, okay? So practical steps. As I say, you can't know every eventuality of what is to happen, and you can't know the hour, but this is about you taking steps where the universe sees, Amanda actually is putting her hand up and saying she's also going to do her bit. And we are also going to help her, but we can also see she's helping herself. Okay? Does that make sense? It makes sense to me. I've got some questions on animals and children here. What do I want to say on animals? Sink into that. Okay, most of the questions that are coming in about animals are coming in from a fear-based response in terms of what about my animals? Forgetting that animals are divine just as we are and actually have an innate intelligence and probably a better survival mechanism than we do. I'm being shown the analogy of a dog that goes onto a frozen pond and goes through the ice. And of course, everybody thinks the dog is going to drown. And the owner, standing at the side, goes in and tries to save the dog. The owner drowns and the dog survives. Okay, dogs, not just dogs, animals generally have an inbuilt ability to survive more than we give them credit for. It's why when something is going to happen, animals move to high ground, birds go quiet. You know, watch the animal kingdom. The animal kingdom know what to do. In the last, whatever the last event was, I think it was floods, wasn't it? Somewhere in America, can't remember, apologies, can't remember. But there were some pictures on the news of people that had left their pets and they'd just fled. Well, of course, that's a terrible thing to do, and I'm not suggesting you do that for one moment. But what I will say to you is that sometimes those animals that were left were there to, again, remember the animal is a divine being. The animal was there to teach us something as a world, which is like, hey, hold on a minute, what about the animals? You know, why have you put yourself as a human being above them? So it's a sort of mixed message coming through, because we are being asked to look after the animals, of course, but you're also not asked to mollycoddle them, is what I'm hearing, because they have a soul, they have a contract just as much as we do. If they are meant to stay, they stay, and if they've already signed up to leave, they leave. And we don't like to think that, because we like to don't know quite what the word is. What is the word? It's like we almost want to make animals into, it's not the right word, infantilize them, but it's like that. It's almost like we're not seeing their true power. We're wrapping them up in cotton wool that they are completely defenseless. I mean, some are, I know that, but not all. And when I was mulling over this message this morning, I was thinking about what Metatron said in yesterday's video, which was he showed me fish. And he showed me fish that were able to swim much deeper than they normally would do, or any animal belonging to the sea. And I talked about the depth of the sea and how, and I don't even know whether this is, you know, has ever even been witnessed before, but the ability of animals to go deeper, deeper down into the sea to keep themselves safe. And I kid you not, as I was thinking that and having my breakfast this morning, I looked up at the calendar in my kitchen, and so I'm just trying to turn my computer back on. It's just blacked out. Has it done that? On my calendar there's this picture of the sea with animals swimming on the seabed. I only want my computer on because I want the questions. Right. So the animals will be okay. People are saying, do I take, oh that's right, people are saying, do I take my animals into my Merkaba with me? No, you don't. Because the thing is, every living thing has its own Merkaba field. What you ask for is for Metatron to help activate that animal's Merkaba field. You don't take things into your Merkaba field. Your Merkaba field is your own, okay? And it's your safe space. You know, I was just talking about fish as an example, or animals of the sea being able to dive down deep. Well, this is one of the cards that came out. And this is like a contradictory message, because I'm sure there's another video I've done recently where I talked about us coming out of the cave, okay? But here we've got the cave as a sanctuary. I suppose the whole thing about caves is it's like an in-out energy is what I'm hearing. Oh God, Metatron, you are, I don't know whether I can say that. That almost sounds disrespectful. I mean, he's got a sense of humour. I'm hearing the hokey cokey song. It's like, in, out, you shake it all about, you do the hokey cokey and you turn around. That's what life's about. You go in the cave when you need to go in the cave. You come out of the cave when you need to come out of the cave. There's time, I don't know, I'm just getting the message that caves are a sanctuary. I know that's a contradictory message because I know in a previous message I've said about coming out of the cave, but we've got us, it's not going back in for very long. Maybe it's just going back in temporarily during the eye of the storm is what he's saying, okay? And also recognizing that your Merkaba is your cave as well in a way, because it's a place of sanctuary. The other cards that came up, by the way, this morning, and I've already pulled 5, I'm going to pull another live as it were, but the first card that came up was the card of power. And again, we're being shown two elementals here. We're being shown fire and we're being shown water. We've got the cave card, which is sanctuary. We've got the volcano card. And we've got the card of vulnerability. So this is going to make us feel vulnerable, whatever's coming, but that's okay. That's interesting. Underneath volcano, there was a card stuck to it, and it's the card of creation, dreamtime. I think that means from the ashes, we are able to create something new. And we've got the card of love. Okay, love sees us through, but also love, hands holding each other, hands coming together in compassion and offering a hand of help to others is very important as well. Right, I'm going to go to a few questions now. Let's just see what's coming in on good old Facebook. Thank you, Barbara. That's a nice comment. She's saying thank you. Thank you for the guidance, courtesy of your wonderful spiritual team. Absolutely, spiritual team is what we have in place here. If you could see the amount of beings that are close to our earth right now, trying to help us with what is coming, you would be amazed. You know, they're all lined up. All of the masters are here. We are not alone through this process. It's just very, very clear. Question coming in on karma. That's probably a different video. And Nell says, I've got a storm warning all week from Spirit. I don't like it one bit. No. I mean, it's fine to say we're unsettled. I have to say, every morning I'm waking up at the moment, I'm switching my phone on, and it's like, oh, phew, nothing's happened. That's what it feels like. If you want my gut feel on timing, I'll be able to breathe a big sigh of relief if we get to the beginning of June and nothing's happened, okay? I would really love to know how we can guide and teach our children through all this upheaval and make sure we create real learning, apart from remaining calm and centred. How do we explain that this is happening because of the collective consciousness, so that they can take responsibility in the future? That's from Joe. Joe, they already know. The kids already know. I mean, that's such a clear message today from Metatron, which is that the kids know how to do this. Again, it's that thing about us as adults. And I'm a mum, for God's sake, I'm a mum, okay? So I'm a great one to talk. I'm very capable of mollycoddling my children and wrapping them up in cotton wool. But each time I do that, I deny their divine power and their divine light, because the children know how to do this. I must admit, when I was mulling over the children question this morning, I sort of went back to the teachings of John Varlo in 2012, and one of the things that John Varlo talked about at that time, he said basically what I'm saying here, which is that you don't need to worry about the kids. The kids know how to do this. The kids almost will lead the way, to be perfectly honest. It won't be the children that are running around in hysterics, it will be the grown-ups. It will. Although we won't be hysterical, we'll be okay, we will be calm, we will be centred. But I'm talking about the people, being serious for 1 minute, the people that don't have the spiritual understanding of why it's happening. You know, that's why people go around like headless chickens, because they don't understand it. They don't realise that they'll make it through. There will be a safe passage. But the children won't be like that. The children might be unsettled though. I think, that word unsettled is true. My Sophie this morning was unsettled over something. She was a bit tearful, and she hasn't been like that for quite a long time. And okay, it was about something very, that's in her life at the moment. But I knew it was really an energy she was picking up, because normally she'd be able to cope with it, and today she couldn't. And and what did I do? I gave her a cuddle. Of course I gave her a cuddle, but I also gave her a bit of tough love. And I said, no, you've got to go in. You face your fears, Sophie. If you don't go in today, it's going to be worse tomorrow. We can do this, and I know you can do it. And it was that was my tone. That was very much my tone, as well as giving her a cuddle. It was very Metatron, to be perfectly honest. Okay, and she will be fine, and she will do it. The kids generally, though, I'm not too worried about the kids, to be honest. If you're worried about your kids, maybe concentrate on healing the part of yourself that goes into panic mode for your children. And God, I understand it. As I say, I am a parent. I completely understand it. But I just know the children will be all right. Having said that, I do need to put a precursor to that. And that is not just about children, it's not just about animals, it's not just about humans. We have to be very spiritually mature during these times. And we have to remember that ultimately it is the soul that is in control of everything. And if your soul has chosen to be here and carry on being here, there is nothing on this earth that is going to stop that from happening. You will stay. And if your soul has already said, actually, I think that's a nice ride, but I'm getting off now, you'll get off the ride. And that's true for animals, it's true for children, it's true for grown-ups. And at 3D level, that's like, how can you say that? At 5D level, it makes complete sense. Because at 5D level, you understand that the soul is eternal, and that this little speck of life, how long do we live? Well, some of us don't live very long at all. Maybe you live to 90. I'm not sure I want to live much beyond 90s. I see myself in my 90s. But the point is, It's nothing. Even if you live to 120, it's nothing compared to how old your soul is. Bringing a bit of light relief actually into the question. There was a thing in the paper yesterday, the oldest woman in the world, I think she's 127. I think she's from Slovakia or somewhere like that. Maybe I've got that wrong. But I'm sorry, but sometimes you've got to have a bit of black humour as well. And there was this article in the paper and she said, I've been miserable every single one of my 127 years. And she said, I think it's God's punishment that I'm still here. And I thought, my God, I mean, you know, prayers for her, please, everyone, because what an attitude to have. But again, totally perfect, because she's teaching us something. You could carry on and live to 127 and be miserable if that's what your soul chooses to be, and that's what you want to show. Your soul is in control. So you must remember that, okay? Rachel, I have the storm within too. I have noticed gratitude and acceptance for who we are right in this moment is helping to stay out of the storm. Yeah, that's a really good point, Rachel. I would love any other suggests that would help in this turbulence. Will it help surrounding ourselves with some high vibe stuff, crystals? Absolutely, yes it will. You don't need to have, you know, a whole crystal store with you, but like I've just shown you today, just choose a couple. It doesn't have to be the two that I've shown you. Just tune in to what you feel you need and have them on you. I like what she says there, that gratitude and acceptance are helping her to ride out the storm. And that is because gratitude and acceptance are fifth dimensional qualities. They are, you know, high vibrational states. And that's why they help, basically. So, you know, if you take yourself or allow yourself to go into any lower state, whether that's anger, envy, jealousy, I would even include things like greed in it, you will be lowering your energy, okay? It's really important over the coming days to try to heighten your vibration as much as you can. Those of you that drink too much, if you can, reduce the drinking. Those of you that eat too much and the wrong type of things, try again and every day is a new start. Try today to start again and just feed your body what it needs. Question from Sandra, question is, how best can we serve? How best you can serve is by being an example to other people, to not be the headless chickens, to be the people that remain calm and in control and centered. And, you know, I'm really just hearing the message that these are the times that we were born to live. And we are light workers, and our time is here. Okay, so how best can we serve is by, yes, it is about holding the light, of course it is, but it's also about leading by example. Leading by example, remaining calm, and remaining in love. Okay. Does Metatron have any words for people who are contemplating suicide through all of these upgrades? I have at least 2 friends who are thinking about it daily, and I just don't know what to say to them. I know it is the energies and they are aware too, but it sounds so cliche. I really send my love to you, the person that's written that. I think the truth is, you know, if I'm being completely blunt, the truth is that people are finding it difficult at the moment. Remember that this year is a year of duality. It's dark and light. Some people are being attracted to the light and holding that light, and some people are finding the darkness quite attractive. Does Metatron have any words for people? Okay, let's just ask him. Let's go to the Midnight Indigo energy. Light in the dark. Beloved, you have free will. You have a choice, whether to stay or whether to leave. We encourage you to stay, to remember the magnificence of your being, to remember why you came, to remember that you came for this ride, this moment, this time. We need your light. And if you feel that you have no light at this time, let me rekindle it for you. Let me be your light in the darkness. Let me lead you out of the darkness, back into daylight, in a world that may feel unstable, in a world that may well be changing, but in a world that still has great beauty and much to offer you. Everyone is damaged to some degree in life. Everyone has wounds. Don't feel that you are alone in this. But many have learnt how to heal those wounds, how to carry on despite the damage that they may have around them or within them. And I will hold you and I will support you through any journey of healing that you wish to take. You will not take that journey of healing and recovery alone. See two paths ahead of you. One path belongs to the journey towards death. One path belongs to the journey towards life. The path towards death is blocked. It is not your time to leave. The path towards life is filled with bright light. Let me remind you of that. Let me remind you of the beauty of this planet, even though you have forgotten that, even though you feel you have no place upon this earth, even though you feel lost, even though you feel lonely, even though you feel abandoned, even though you feel without. I bring you a basket full of abundance. This abundance is not in the form of fruit and money, although you may have that if that is what you wish. This basket that I bring you is full of the energy of hope. Hope for tomorrow, hope for a return to wellness, hope for you remembering the sanctity of your life, the beauty of your soul, and the fact that you are needed here on earth, my precious child. Please feel into my love and know that I am with you every step of the way upon earth, upon Gaia. And even though she is shaking and vulnerable at this time, she still holds you, as do I. We wish you to stay, and we love you. And I carve out a path before you, and I will lay signs and symbols down for you, and I will help bring you the support that you need. All that you need to do is open your heart to my love. All is well, my child. Choose life. And to anybody that's watching this that resonates with that, I send you love, as do the majority of people on this channel who are good people, honest people, many, many good people on this channel, and I know they send you love as well. Okay, let's go to another question. Let's just bring in the energy of air just to move on from that. Thank you for your comments, everybody. Oh, okay. Thank you, Lulu, for reminding me of what I was going to do. I said on Facebook this morning that one of the things I was feeling like a Noah's Ark type energy, to be perfectly honest. What Metatron was asking me to do within this video, one of the things was, this is an energetic boat, guys. I talked about safe passage and I've talked about Merkaba, and these are all tools for you to have. But I also just feel, what he was showing me today was, whatever happens, you know, this is symbolic. It's as though, say we are at sea. This is symbolic, guys. Say we're at sea. What do you choose to clutch onto to help save you? Do you choose to clutch onto a tiny little bit of board that's a bit porous, you know, and is not really fit for purpose? It might keep you afloat for a little while, but it's not going to sustain you. And that little bit of flotsam basically represents 3D that you're clinging to. Or would you like to climb aboard what he's saying? It's like, oh right, he's lightening us up now. It's like, it's, I'm seeing Metatron, and it's like he's dressed as this captain of the ship, okay? And he's dressed in white. I can't see his angel wings. He's presenting himself more as a human here to me. And he's got a beautiful white, can anybody see what I'm seeing? He's got this beautiful white captain's jacket on, and it's got gold stripes here. He's earned all these gold stripes because he's saying he's master of the ship, and he is able to steer the ship in any condition and through any passage. And he has done it many times before, many times upon this earth before. And it's literally as though I'm seeing this gangplank coming down from this huge, great big ship. It's not like Noah's Ark, it's like a great big modern ship. And you are invited aboard. You're invited aboard this vessel. And all you have to do is put your hand in the air and say, yes, please, can I come aboard? So if we just do that now. So see the ship, see the walkway, the gangplank, whatever it's called, opening up, the doors opening on this boat. Metatron's just like this, he's like this amazing, impressive being dressed in white with gold, and he's just inviting you aboard the ship, okay? And all you have to do is take one foot and start to walk onto it, okay? And he's also saying there is enough room for everybody upon this ship, okay? Just see yourself on board it. I'm seeing some of you now on board the ship. I'm seeing you sitting on your seats. I'm also seeing that you've had it's like a seat belt. It's like you're putting your seat belt on. And then he's taking me forward, and I'm just being shown seas that are a bit turbulent, but within the ship you are okay, and you are it's just normal. You're just like reading a newspaper, you're relaxing, you're watching a film, you're aware of what's going on outside, but you're in the eye of the storm and you are fine, you are safe, okay? And he is saying again, he will lead you to safe passage. And he is saying at this point, you can bring onto that ship anybody that you need to be on it. It can be an animal, it can be pets, it can be loved ones, whoever you want on board that ship. He's saying that you can invite them. They still have the sole choice to walk down the gangplank of the ship and then decide they don't want to go onto it. You have to allow that choice. But you are allowed to invite anybody onto that walkway, but it's still their choice whether they walk into the ship. Know that that is so. Know that the ship is there at dock, waiting for as many people as want to board it before it sets sail. And the sailor knows when the moment is when it sets sail. Okay, that is done. Certainly a roller coaster for me this week. How best can I hang on in there? Just keep hanging on in there, Maggie. We're all doing the same. I'm being shown it's like being on a tube train or a bus. You know, you have those straps that you hang on to. On the London Tube, you have those straps you hang on to. And having been a commuter for many years, what you do is you sort of do this and you move around, and sometimes you lose your feet, but that strap keeps you secure, okay? As long as you've got the strap, you're fine. And the strap is the angelic support, it's Metatron. Anything else that's come in the last few minutes? Okay, all right. So we've got a bit of commentary coming in on here I'll just paraphrase some of it. There's 2 different comments. How do we deal with the increasing number of heads of state and government set on privatising and ransacking the planet's natural resources? I don't mean politically, but rather spiritually and energetically. So that's one. And then I'm just scrolling down, and it talks about the dirty underbelly being exposed more and more, whether it's elected officials playing dirty or racist rants, calling police on us, blah, 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 blah. How do we serve in this area? Well, we're moving into a different area, but all I can say is, having read that, my energy just has sunk. No offence to the people that have written it, because thank you very much, you've done us a service there. And you're all lovely people, by the way. I know these people. But all I'm trying to say is that as soon as you get into that rabbit hole, and I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but there's a time and a place, guys. There's a time and a place for worrying about that, and this isn't it, okay? Because when you are going through what we're about to go through, you just get through it, okay? And then we deal with this stuff. And I'm not burying my head in the sand. I know this exists, but I just noticed my energy. I was feeling quite high, and it was like, so Metatron is saying remain in a high vibration. Every part of ascension happens in the divine timing that it's meant to happen. If things are meant to be exposed, they will be exposed in the time they're meant to be exposed. Right now, what is happening is Gaia is about to do something. And so that is what we prioritize. Metatron is very much about prioritization. Okay, he prioritizes what is most important. All right, so I'm not closing down those comments. That'll be another video for another day. My bones have been aching all week. Unusual, and I'm not ill. Is this part of it? Well, it would make sense to me, to be honest, Jill, because the bones are linked into the base chakra. So the base chakra is linked into our survival, and it's linked into when we don't feel safe, we don't feel secure. And most of us are having a bit of a wobble, you know? So remember, you know, the crystal I showed you, Eye of the Storm, and all the guidance on this video, really, it's about just finding that still place within. Up early this morning, walking in one of spiritual places, Stone Rock. Oh, Vicky, yeah, you said you and I were going to have a walk there, and I need to come and do that with you. I just felt peace, and it was glorious, fantastic. Absolutely. Today, looking out of my window, it's beautiful sunshine, there are birds flying by, the sea is probably tranquil. The best thing that I can do today after making this video is go down to the sea and just feel that peace. Because if I feel the peace, I am the peace. Can children help make a difference at this time? Yesterday something amazing happened. My child had a sports game day at school where many grades were participating and all parents were invited. Before it started, it was going to rain and ruin the whole event. But before starting the games, a team of children read these beautiful messages of hope to take care of our world and take care of each other, and to always be the best in everything we do. And suddenly the sunshine came through, and the weather remained good for the entire event. It could be a coincidence, but it really felt as if the earth had heard them and was celebrating. It was amazing, and that's why I feel children can make a huge difference with their light. Yeah, they can. Absolutely they can, Chris. And thank you so much for sharing that. That is a lovely message, and it's really what Metatron was saying, that the children know how to do this. The children instinctively know. They instinctively know what to do. I've said before on my Facebook post, my youngest child, she goes to sleep with affirmations under her pillow and crystals under her pillow. And I bought her a little, it's like a little sack, you know, which you put jewellery into. Not a sack, what's it called? A little pouch. And it's called like a happiness pouch, I think. And it's got a few little things in it. And I gave them to her over a period of years. And okay, yes, I do what I do. You know, I'm a teacher and all the rest of it. And she sees my crystals and my bottles. But I don't sit down with my children and say, right, so we're going to do an affirmation today, and this is what you have to do. She just knew to put them under her pillow, because it sinks into her subconscious. I actually don't, you know, these questions about what can we do to help our children, I almost want to turn it around and say, why don't you just watch what your children are doing and learn from them? And I mean that as an adult, watching my own children as well. Of course they need cuddles and reassurance. We all do. We all need a bit of a group hug. Right, I think that's the last comment that I'm going to look at there. just because this video is probably getting a bit long, and I did want to pull one more card. I wanted to pull some cards on Hawaii, didn't I? Yeah, let's do that. And then maybe there's another question that comes in. So we've got Hawaii, Solitude. I'm going to stick with Stephen Farmer's deck because I feel safe with Stephen Farmer. I don't know. I just like his energy. I've never met the guy, but I like the energy coming off his deck. It feels very... He feels like the type of man that would be good in a crisis, like, you know, whatever might happen. It's like he's exactly what Metatron's talking about. I hope he is like this. Maybe somebody who's met him could tell me. He just feels like a very calm, steady presence. And that's why his cards are really calling to me at the moment. Right, Hawaii. Let's link into fire because that's what's going on out there. I really send you love in Hawaii. The island. The island, Hawaii. Never been actually, I'd like to come. I will come. Not right now though. But sort of like I'm there anyway. This is the thing, we're all so multi-dimensional. We're astral travelling all the time at night at the moment. We can be in more than one place. Note, I'm not being shown what happens. I'm being shown the rainbow. And the rainbow is God's promise to man that I am always with you. I'm with you through the sunshine and I'm with you through the rain, because that's what makes a rainbow, the sunshine and the rain. And it's a card of blessings. You're being watched over. The card of the tsunami is in this deck, hasn't come out. Doesn't mean it won't happen, but there's a reason why. There are certain things that are being shrouded, maybe we're not meant to see. So I can only go as far as what I'm being shown on a day-to-day basis. And actually there's only so much information you can take in on a day-to-day basis as well. So with Hawaii, we've got the card of blessings, we've got the rainbow. We've also got, of course, rainbow is about colour, it's about light. I did wonder, you know, going back to these colours, the orange and the violet, remember when I was talking about abuse of spiritual teaching? I don't know, because I've never been to Hawaii, but I do wonder whether there's been some corruption in terms of the teaching there. Because it just feels such a holy, sacred place. Okay, and what Hawaii is saying to me, because I'm tuning into that part of Gaia, she's saying I won't tolerate it. I won't tolerate an abuse of my land. So if there are any people there that have been practicing spirituality from the wrong place, not from the heart, can't carry on. She'll purge that. And as she purges, she's quite clever. What she does is she attracts all the light workers, all the rainbow tribe. They don't have to physically go there. They pour their light into her and they recharge her. And then she becomes, can you see on the island, we've got this tree and it's violet. It's a violet, purple coloured tree. And that tree is, I don't know what the tree is, but the point is it's violet, and violet is about transformation. And violet is the colour linked to spirit, spiritual teaching, purity. My land will not be contaminated, she says. Those of you in Hawaii, please let me know what all that means, because I've never been there, and I know a couple of people, but they're good people. I don't know anybody that's abusing their positions there, but I'm picking up there are some. Okay, I mean there probably are in all parts of the world, but with Hawaii it's such a sensitive, I don't know which chakra it relates to. Is it the heart chakra? But I'm feeling it's the gut, and I've got a sensitive stomach, so I can't tolerate anything. If I abuse my body badly, it's like my stomach's like, no, you're not doing that, Amanda. And that's what I'm feeling Hawaii is saying. She's saying I'm too sensitive. I can't take this anymore. It has to be purged. Okay, let's just see if there's a last question come in, and then I'm going to wrap this up. There's a lot of you asking, how best can I serve? And the fact that you're even asking that is wonderful, because it shows that you're coming from the right place. You've stepped out of ego, you've stepped out of your own fear, and you're actually putting other people's lives, other people's energies top priority. And that is unity consciousness in action. And it's beautiful to witness. Beautiful to witness. Where's my... oh, that one. I just want to go to the Metatron flame. I always go to this bottle. Orange. Metatron. 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 Metatron means to go beyond. Go beyond what you think you are capable of doing. Go beyond your fear. Go beyond the level of light that you think you've got now. It can be higher. Beyond this, there is a place and an energy that is beautiful. No, I'm not going to pick another card. I was going to say I was going to pick a sixth card, but do you remember this one was stuck to the volcano card? I will just show you the cards one final time. So we had lightning, fire and water. We had the cave, in out of the cave, but there are times coming where it's okay to seek sanctuary within the cave. Vulnerability. You don't need to pretend you can do it all on your own. This is a time coming where we pull together. We help each other. From love. There is the volcano. It is what it is. But from her fire and from her ashes, we create the new. The island, which feels like Hawaii, whatever happens there, there is just an abundance of blessings coming into that place and that land and its people. I think that's probably it for today. Yeah, must be quite a long video by now. Sorry, I'm just saying. Yeah, I knew there was one more question to come in. Here it is, Suzanne Norman. Thank you, Suzanne. What a lovely message. I'm going to end with Suzanne's message. She says, be blessed in all we imagine, the highest and best intent for all. My prayers join in with all who wish to create a beautiful planet, our gift from the universe. Let us treat it with compassion and wisdom. Thank you, Metatron and Amanda. Thank you, Suzanne. It's a lovely place to end. I am going to end it there. Much love. Stay in the light. Fear has no place in 5D. Much love. Bye-bye.